e.l.f. Mythologie. We champion for peace and unity, today and always. Dreams come true. New find opal from Mintaby, South Australia. Camera South Australian opal traders. www.twitter.com/geologytime.
Eller lignende femininum beauty hvilken tribute $50,000 i titoet i International Committee of the Red Cross and Medicines Sans Frontiers, Doctors Without Borders to provide necessary aid and resources to those suffering in Israel and Gaza. We will also be matching donations for every eller lignende femininum employee who would like to join our efforts. Ice Moon Magazine Christmas e.l.f. There I say it's a battle of T-nudes. www.twitter.com/nyxcosmetics.
e.l.f. Gods, Indiel, Royalty. Ice Moon Magazine Christmas e.l.f. Norse Mids. Light e.l.f. versus Dog e.l.f. In Norse mythology, Dog Kalfar, Dog elves, and Ljosalfar, Light elves, or two contrasting types of elves. The Dog elves dwell within the earth and have a dog complexion, while the Light elves live in Alfheim, and are fairer than the sun to look at. Dog Kalfar and Ljosalfar. The Tonight Show. Fallontonit. Gracia Brams. Performs, Risk, of her new album The Secrets of Us. Watch sort trekant mod højre YouTube, BJ_VQDRFRSYW. There occurs an additional mention of the Dog Kalfar in the late Old Norse poem Hrafnagal og Odines Ravngaller, stanza 25. Gangleri, the King Gylfi in disguise, asks the enthroned figure of High what other chief centers there are in the heavens outside of the spring Urdabrunner. Gangleri responds that there are many fine places in heaven, including a place called Alfheim, Old Norse, Elfhome, or Elf World. High says that the Ljosalfar live in Alfheim, while the Dog Kalfar dwell underground and look, and particularly behave, quite unlike the Ljosalfar. High describes the Ljosalfar as fairer than the sun to look at, while the Dog Kalfar are blacker than pitch. The subclassification perhaps resulted from Christian influence, by way of importation of the concepts of good and evil and angels of light and darkness. Anne Holsmark aired this view, though with some reservation, since good versus evil dualism is not confined to Christian thinking. Aside from some additional observations to encourage the hypothesis, Holsmark has been credited with demonstrating that Snorri borrowed from Christian writings, specifically that Snorri's description of Hvitblind, the third heaven populated by light elves, was almost certainly influenced by, and possibly based on, the account of the angels in the Lucidarius. Since the prose Edda describes Dog Kalfar as being subterranean dwellers, they may be dwarfs under another name, in the opinion of a number of scholars such as John Lindau.
MODHRA Sun Temple, ALSSRKNOWN Architectural Jewel of India. www.twitter.com/ARCHOHISTORIS. MODHRA Sun Temple is set in the heart of Gujarat. MODHRA Sun Temple is an architectural beauty dedicated to Sun, Surya, God. The prosled also uniquely mentions SVARTLFAR, black elves, but there are reasons to believe these also refer to merely dwarfs.
Green postulated three kinds of elves, LZSLFAR, DKKLFAR, SVARTLFAR, present in Norse mythology. The iridescence of the sunbeam snake. Their defining characteristic is iridescence. This comes from structures on their scales called iridophores, layers of crystal-like cells refracting light. This one has some edit. A Mughal, Edno 6th, Edno 7th century CE, J2 Cup with AZHDAHA, from northern, Mughal, India.
Astaha dragon, a much important and legendary Persian mythical creature, often depicted in various Shahnameh manuscripts. Astaha insignia was acquired by Timur during his conquest of Persia, adopted as a royal Timurid insignia, an imperial symbol of power. Insignia was inherited by Timur's descendants as a symbol of authority, power, and legitimacy across subcontinent and beyond. The National and University Library of Iceland is the National Library of Iceland, which also functions as the University Library of the University of Iceland. The library was established on December 1994 in Reykjavik, Iceland, with the merger of the former National Library, Landsbókasafnslands, Est. 1910 and the University Library, formerly Est. 1910. It is the largest library in Iceland with about 1 million items in various collections. The library's largest collection is the National Collection, containing almost all written works published in Iceland and items related to Iceland published elsewhere. The library is the main legal deposit library in Iceland. The library also has a large manuscript collection with mostly early modern and modern manuscripts, and a collection of published Icelandic music and other audio, legal deposits since 1917. Christmas elf is a diminutive elf that lives with Santa Claus at the North Pole and acts as his helper. Christmas elves are usually depicted as green or red-clad, with large, pointy ears and wearing pointy hats. They are most often depicted as humanoids. Draco is a genus of flying lizards, otherwise known as flying dragons or gliding lizards. These lizards are capable of gliding flight, not powered flight using membranes extended to create wings. Those structures are called pata. President Biden's bipartisan infrastructure law is investing more than $1 billion to upgrade our nation's power grid, a critical component to achieving our administration's goal of a 100% carbon pollution-free power sector by 2030. Killer Mike. God bless the dead. May God protect the living. Amen. Whoa, Twitter, come White House.
Santas elves are often said to make the toys in Santa's workshop and take care of his reindeer, among other tasks. The pyramids of Giza, Egypt. Jesus cups utrada genturi ada are Roman glass cups found in princely graves in Denmark. They are known as Jesus cups due to their enamel decorated images of animals from Roman arena. Imported from workshops in Rhine area. These unusual and attractively decorated vessels are fairly common during the second half of the first century AD and have been found throughout the eastern provinces of the Roman Empire, including Britain. National Museum of Denmark. Subscribe for detailed post. Archaeohistories. In fiery lore fieries and elves have hite aura and itches us dark shadows etch. Fieries are said to inhabit a kingdom called Fairyland, Elphame Otherworld. The realm is not separate from ours but overlies it unseen. People left offerings called elf blots of meat and milk on the mounds for them elves. Generally dressed in hite. The Anglo-Saxon term for similar spirits is elf or e.l.f, a word meaning something like a hit spirit or a sinning one. Santa is much older, emerging in US folklore in the early 19th century from St. Nicholas. It attributes of various European Christmas traditions, especially from English Father Christmas and Dutch Sinterklaas. The association of Christmas presents it always has precedence in the first half of the 19th century. It the Scandinavian Nisse or Tomte, and St. Nicholas himself is called an elf in a visit from St. Nicholas. Min 823. Hieroglyphics written in the All of Temple of Ramesses o -86, -11 Baja at Medinet Habu in East Bank of Luchor in Egypt.
In fairy lore, fairies and elves have white aura and witches use dark shadows, etc. Fairies are said to inhabit a kingdom we call Fairyland, Elfame, Otherworld. Realm is not separate from ours, but overlays it, unseen. People left offerings, called elf blots, of meat and milk on the mounds for them, elves. Generally dressed in white. The Anglo-Saxon term for similar spirits is elf or elf, a word meaning something like white spirit or shining one. Santa is much older, emerging in U.S. folklore in the early 17th century from St. Nicholas with attributes of various European Christmas traditions, especially from English Father Christmas and Dutch Sinterklaas. The association of Christmas presents with elves has precedence in the first half of the 19th century with the Scandinavian Nis or Tomt, and St. Nicholas himself is called an elf in a visit from St. Nicholas, 1823. Hieroglyphics writing in the wall of Temple of Ramesses III, 1186 to 1156 BC, at Medinet Habu, in West Bank of Luxor, in Egypt. The origins of the elf are said to have been derived from Norse mythology, which refers to the Alfar, also known as Huldufolk, hidden folk. The elf character is most likely to have combined this Norse legend with other Scandinavian and Celtic cultures and myths regarding elves, fairies, and nature spirits. Similar supernatural beings that can be connected to elves, such as kobolds from Germany and house spirits named brownies in Scotland. In medieval Europe, elves were seen as nefarious and were often linked to demons. In Nordic countries, Christmas elves are considered nisser and not elves, and they will usually wear only red instead of the green and red outfits that they are known for in English-speaking countries. A witch is a magical being that possesses the magic of darkness, witchcraft. What is the difference between witch and fairy? Vinksklub. Aussie. The Irish name for a supernatural race in Celtic mythology, Deo and Sith in Scottish Gaelic, comparable to fairies or elves. They are said to descend from the Tuatha De Danann, meaning the people of Danu, according to pagan tradition. The Aussie are said to live underground in fairy forts, across the Western Sea, or in an invisible world that coexists with the world of humans. This world is described in the Leber Gabale Ren as a parallel universe in which the Aussie walk among the living. In the Irish language, Aussie means people of the fairy mounds, as Sidhe means the otherworldly mounds or hills. In modern Irish, the word is sea, in Scottish Gaelic, Sith, in Old Irish, Side, and the singular is Sid. By the time of the Celtic Revival, when the fairy faith became a topic for English and English language authors, Sidhe in its various forms, with various meanings, became a loan word into English and took on a variety of, often inaccurate, meanings. En Wikipedia /wiki/aus-si. In modern Irish the people of the mounds are also called Deo and Si, in Scottish Gaelic they are called Deo and Sith, in both cases, it means people of the fairy mound. They are variously said to be the ancestors, the spirits of nature, or goddesses and gods. Breaking police car light, James Webb Telescope has detected the merging of two massive black holes. www.twitter.com/latestintspace/status/1791161721760956654.
In many Gaelic tales, the Aussie are later, literary versions of the Tuatha De Danann, people of the goddess Danu, the deities and deified ancestors of Irish mythology. Crídimsi is Irish for the fairy faith, a term for the collection of beliefs and practices observed by those who wish to keep good relationships with the e.l.f. and avoid angering them. General belief in the Celtic otherworld, the existence of e.l.f. and the ability of the e.l.f. to influence the local area and its people are all beliefs characteristic of Crídimsi. It is characterized as an aspect of Irish popular religion and exists syncretically with folk Christianity. Baked goods, apples, or berries, to the e.l.f. has survived through the Christian era into the present day in parts of Ireland, Scotland, and the diaspora. Those who maintain some degree of belief in the e.l.f. also are careful to leave their sacred places alone and protect them from damage through road or housing construction. This is amazing YSLX Dua.
I've got a book of stories coming out next week. You like it darker? The audiobook version is very nice. Will Patton read most of the stories? I read 2 of them. www.twitter.com/StephenKing.
e.l.f. www.elfcosmetics.com. e.l.f. Core. e.l.f.-related aesthetics. Including Christmas time, fairy tale themes such similar concepts. 100% cruelty-free. And vegan, worldwide. e.l.f. stands for every eye, lip, face and paw. All of our makeup and skincare products are never tested on animals and contain no animal ingredients. Scandinavian folk tales described elves as fair, white-clad, and dangerous when they were offended. Most elves were described as youthful, but some could have the appearance of old women. Elves could cause skin rashes and other diseases. They enjoyed butter and could be appeased by placing treats into an elven mill.
This 520, show your love for one another with our most iconic collections. Discover more, Tiffany.com.